Hey nerds, welcome to JerAwards. Today we're going to recap season 5 of Lucifer, yesterday being the season 5 finale, tomorrow being the season 6 premiere. We have watched 83 episodes of Lucifer. We have 10 episodes left in season 6. Shows seem to go by so quickly, but then again, time doesn't make any sense. Time is all relative, it's all made up. Regardless, we don't have but 10 episodes left, which means we're going to talk about our new show very, very soon. We're going to get in the conversations, discussions. It's not going to be in this video, maybe in one tomorrow or the day after. You guys should have something soon, very, very soon, maybe over the weekend, talking about the new show. So bear with me. We'll do a video, we'll have a community post, bing, bam, bop. If you're new to the channel, at the end of each of our big shows, we recap the previous season. So since season 5 is up, we're going to recap it here. We have our JerAwards. We're going to hop into it in just a moment. But again, if you are new here, feel free to subscribe for daily content. If there's a day, there is a reaction. Links will be in the description box down below for the Patreon, the Twitch stream, and everything in between. Jerry, why'd I look up there? Jerry will do his best work behind the scenes. That's for the end of the video. Jerry doesn't have to go behind the scenes. I'm all over the place. We just woke up. All 83 episodes on Patreon. Let's get into what season 5 was about. It's about the good old Doppeldevil. The Doppeldevil himself, Michael, or as God preferred, Michael. Regardless, we get introduced to him immediately because the end of season 4, Lucifer's like, hey, you know what? I gotta go hell. I'm out. So he goes to hell, which leaves us with Chloe up in Los Angeles on Earth by herself, basically. And we see Lucifer in hell with our good pal Lee. And Lucifer's walking around with Lee, bing, bam, bop, trying to solve his murder down below, while Chloe's trying to solve it on the surface level. Now, the episode ends with Lee needing to go make the decision to walk into that house to face his fears, to face his guilt and everything else. And he can't do it. And he tells Lucifer, he's like, why are you helping me? You know, this doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what's happening. And they have some words exchanged, bing, bam, bop. And Lucifer is basically using him as a metaphor like he always does. And Chloe, up top, looking for Lee's murderer, runs into a shaboing boing battle, which I was very curious. I was like, did we ever solve Lee's murder? It didn't make any sense to me that it just kind of went unsolved. Then I realized I thought there was still more to the mystery after the episode ended because the hand was on the table, and I thought maybe the sister still had done it, perchance, but it ended up being those people that were in there. Besides the point, while she's shooting out, Lucifer walks through the door, whips him ass. Hello, detective. And they make out immediately. But things are not what they seem. This Lucifer is lying. This Lucifer is too nice to Dan. This Lucifer is just too weird compared to our normal standards. He doesn't seem to know how to be Lucifer because he's not. He is the Archangel Michael. And Chloe figures that out in the second episode. She figures it out pretty rapidly, and she even tries to seduce him, sucking a spoon, and all the crumpled up money in his pocket and everything else. She just knew. She shot him. Bing, bam, boop. Maze even tried to help in the process, try to help Michael, and Michael kind of promises Maze something because Maze feels like she doesn't really have a place, and she doesn't have a soul, and Michael kind of promises her to get a soul because he has a grand scheme working. And the grand scheme comes up pretty quickly. We have a black and white episode that I will say that this show does weird episodes well. Like the black and white episode is Trixie getting told a story by Lucifer about Lilith's ring. The musical episode is because God is controlling people because he likes music. All of it ends up kind of making sense. So it all works out. Other shows can't, a lot of shows cannot pull that off. So kudos Lucifer for being able to do so. Now, basically shit hits the fan. Michael and Amenadiel, Lucifer all get into a fight. Maze is there as well. Maze takes Michael's side. They're all beating the shit out of each other. God shows up in the flesh. We were all in good hands. So he comes down. God's here. He wants to spend time with his family. He meets his grandson, and God causes a musical episode to happen. And the whole point of this season is Michael has been gaslighting God into thinking that he was losing control of his powers, which he wasn't. Michael's grand scheme was to get control over heaven. He wanted to become God by getting God out the door. What ends up happening is Lucifer and the big God have some bonding moments. And as does Amenadiel, everybody gets their bonding moments, and God kind of realizes, he even goes to therapy with Lucifer. He kind of realizes a lot of things along the way. He ends up making the decision, because they have like a cookout, and God's going to determine his new successor. All the angels are there, and Lucifer's like, Amenadiel initially wants to be God, and then Lucifer goes, hey, you know what? I think this is my ultimate redemption story. Like, I think I should become God, and there needs to come down to a vote, whatever. Michael has been manipulating things, is kind of winning the vote. So Lucifer has their sister, Gabriel, I think, right? Go to deliver a message anywhere. Delivers a message to Mama Marlet, the mother of all creation. God decides he's going to go live in her universe. She spent all that time living in his universe. He's going to go live in her universe and support her, and they're going to rekindle their relationship. This is when God tells Lucifer that he loves him, that he's proud of him. Lucifer gets his closure in the God situation, and God's just gone. And Ella feels the effects of that. Ella feels, hey, she's praying, but nobody's up there. Michael's whole gaslighting thing is work. Now, God does in the process give Maze a soul, even after telling her she's fine just the way she is. God also kills Dan and brings him back to life. And the big tragic moment of the whole season is Dan gets gunned down. He gets shot. He gets murdered. Very traumatic scene, especially when she introduced Trixie to the whole mix. And the season ends with a showdown between Lucifer and Michael. Eve even shows up. In the process of all of this, Lucifer fighting Michael. Michael has the Blade of Azrael he got from Mama Marlet's universe. Chloe dies. Chloe fucking dies. Lucifer then has to use his wings to fly to the Silver City. And he gives Chloe Lilith's immortality ring to get her back to Earth. Lucifer burns up in heaven. Chloe comes back, is about to kill Michael, and then Lucifer ascends from the heavens, taking his rightful place as the big God, as all of the angels, including Michael, take a knee and bow before him. The only person that doesn't take a knee is Chloe, which I really love, because it's more along the lines of showcasing that while he is the big God, Chloe and Lucifer see each other as equals, which I think is very beautiful. That was a lot of rambling. I don't have the strong notes that I used to take. I like kind of winging it off the top of my head rather than reading. So with the season still fresh in my head with just finishing season 5, yeah, I think it was a really fun season. I went back and forth on if I like season 3 or season 5 better. We'll talk about that towards the end of this video. My big complaint about this whole thing is Lilith's ring. You have a whole episode showcasing it, and Maze just kind of gets it. They do end up having a conversation. Maze does try to propose to Eve with it, but like we don't really get him. I would have loved a scene with Lucifer and Maze, and Lucifer giving Maze the ring and basically saying, hey, I'm sorry. Your mother swore me to secrecy. Of course I wanted to tell you, but I promised her, blah, blah, blah. Something along those lines would have been very nice. And I wish Maze had more of a purpose. Maze obviously wants to have a soul, but you notice after she kind of had her kid, to be honest, she, in real life, her character kind of feels like she doesn't have a place. I think now with her and Eve, maybe. But like up until now, she didn't really have a place. She always kind of felt like, oh, hey, Maze is here again. But like her bounty hunting has took a sidestep, which obviously you can't showcase it too much, but it'd be fun to go on an episode just with her. She has a soul. She wanted one, she got one. And now she wants to be the queen of hell. So we'll see if that gives her more of a meaning. But the Lilith ring thing really kind of pissed me off. I just wanted a conversation. Just something. But we didn't get that. Overall, I really like season 5. But is season 5 my favorite? We'll determine that once we get to the show wrap up. For now, that's a season 5 recap. Let's get into Lucifer's season 5 JerAwards. Are you ready? This is the first JerAwards of 2023. Everything from Lucifer is up for nomination for the overall 2023 JerAwards that takes place at the end of the year, sometimes towards the end of December, sometimes in the first week of January. So, now, favorite episode. Your nominees. Season 2, wait, Season 5, Episode 2, Lucifer, Lucifer, Lucifer. Episode 5, Detective Amenadiel. 6, Blue Balls. 7, Our Mojo. 8, spoiler alert. 9, Family Dinner. 10, Bloody Celestial Karaoke Jam. 11, Resting Devil Face. 13, A Little Harmless Stalking. 14, Nothing Lasts Forever. 15, Is This Really How It's Going to End? 16, A Chance at Happiness. I don't remember exactly why at the moment, but episode 12 didn't make my list for favorite episodes. But I will tell you, if episode 12 would have made the list, this would have been the longest streak, I think, of episodes that have made the favorite episode list, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember back from The Vampire Diaries and the originals, but that would have been 12 straight episodes on the list. That's impressive. Instead, we have 5 through 11 and then 13 through 16. A lot of great episodes, a really good story, a lot of things layered early on. Once I got into the latter half of the season, I was like, oh, this was Planet Then, this was Planet Then, bing, bam, boop. Regardless, favorite episode of season 5 of Lucifer. I went back and forth on this for a while because those last 3 episodes are really something special, but I'm actually going to go with season 5, episode 14. Kind of seemed like a lot of people were lost throughout the episode. Nothing lasts forever. And it ends with the closure of God and Lucifer. Lucifer getting to hear for the first time that he's loved and that his father's proud of him. And God telling him that he loves him lets Lucifer know that if he's capable of loving me, I'm capable of loving whoever I want to love, which includes Chloe Decker. So season 5, episode 14 is my winner for favorite episode of season 5. Favorite scene, this is like a long ass list, so give me 1 second. For favorite scene from season 5, episode 2, Chloe realizing Michael was pretending to be Lucifer. From season 5, episode 3, Lucifer and Chloe interacting with Detective Dancer and Diablo. Lucifer and Michael fighting. Lucifer accepting Dan's bracelet. From season 5, episode 4, Lucifer telling a story to Trixie, only for it to be Maze's idea, the whole episode basically. Season 5, episode 5, Amenadiel helping Chloe on the case. Amenadiel showing Hank his wings. Amenadiel telling Chloe what her gift was. From episode 6, Lucifer using his devil face to quiet Charlie. From season 5, episode 6, The Girls' Night Out at the Sting. Episode 7, Chloe using her new mojo on Lucifer. Ella and Pete talking to each other in Klingon. Episode 8, Lucifer and Amenadiel fighting Maze and Michael. Episode 9, The Family Dinner. Episode 10, Chloe telling God off in Lucifer's name. Yeah, basically standing up for Lucifer and telling God to fuck off. He's been a bad father. Episode 10, Lucifer and God bonding. God calling Lucifer Lucifer instead of Samael. Episode 11, God and Lucifer together in general. Let's say that was episode 11. Episode 12, Lucifer's payback to Daniel for getting shot. Episode 13, Amenadiel telling Ella to have faith in herself. Adriana meeting Dr. Linda and realizing it was her mom. Episode 14, God helping put Hela, like the goddess of death. From season 5, episode 14, God helping Ella to see through her darkness. Episode 14, Lucifer announcing Maze is queen of hell. Episode 14, God telling Lucifer he loves him and is proud of him. Episode 5, Dan and Trixie playing a card game. Episode 16, Lucifer and Michael fighting in the air. Lee helping Lucifer. Chloe eating with her dad in heaven. And Lucifer telling Chloe, I love you. Now, there are a lot of good scenes. I have 2 winners for favorite scene on this one. Technically 3, God telling Lucifer he loved him was very, very emotional. But these other 2 scenes were very, very impactful. Well, one of them was very impactful. The other one I just really love. So their first winners from season 5, episode 6, which is Lucifer using his devil face to quiet Charlie, which was just chef's kiss. And then from the finale, your other winner is Lucifer telling Chloe, I love you. Alligator juice, elephant juice. Y'all remember that shit? Anyways, him finally saying I love you to cap off season 5 is very beautiful. You could have ended the entire show there. I know there's still a lot left, but say the show did end there with him saying, I love you, him taking his place as the big God, saying, oh my me, and the episode ends. That would be such a cliffhanger ending to leave fans wanting more. I think it could have worked. I don't know. I haven't watched anything on season 6 yet, but I'm just saying, if they would have, it wouldn't have been the worst thing ever. Your winners, Lucifer helping quiet Charlie with his devil face, and Lucifer telling Chloe, I love you. Most heartbreaking scene from season 5, episode 2, Dr. Linda reflecting on her past. Episode 5, Dr. Linda talking about giving up her kid. Maze finding out Lilith died. Episode 7, Chloe seeing Dan shoot Lucifer. Episode 8, Ella learning Pete was the Lily Man. Chloe realizing Lucifer hasn't said I love you back. Episode 9, Maze being denied a soul from God. Episode 9, Lucifer telling Chloe if he was to ever say I love you, it would be a lie. Episode 10, Lucifer realizing God's powers were failing. From episode 11, God saying it's time to retire. Episode 14, the God and Goddess leaving. Episode 15, Dan's death. Episode 16, Chloe's death. My runner-up is Maze finding out that Lilith died, because there's emotion in that room is kind of unspoken for Maze. She hasn't been outward emotional a whole lot throughout the show, but her seeing her mother was gone. There was so much she didn't get to say to her, albeit not good things. Could have led to good things if closure had happened, if she could have found out the truth, but she'll never get that moment, and that sucks. Most heartbreaking scene is from season 5, episode 15, and that's Dan's death. It was sad, but it got even worse when Trixie came in the room. So yeah. Funniest scene from season 5, episode 4. You gotta break up the heartbreaking with the funny, right? Season 5, episode 4, Lucifer shooting Willie the Sausage King. All the dick jokes in episode 4. Season 5, episode 7, Lucifer seeing the Shining kid and saying, well, that bodes well. Episode 8, Lucifer shooting himself. Episode 9, Michael. Episode 9, Linda realizing why everything tastes like chicken. Episode 10, God giving Lucifer a noogie. Dan realizing he slept with God's wife. God getting a brain freeze in episode 11. Episode 12, because you fucking shot me, Daniel. And episode 16, Mom never liked you. I'm in a deal to whoever the fuck that angel was. The funniest scene for me, I laughed pretty hard at a lot of these. The you shot me, Daniel was also very solid. But the funniest scene was Lucifer shooting Willie the Sausage King. The way that Daniel, or the actor that plays Daniel, screamed when getting shot in the foot, hilarious. Reminded me of some Three Stooges shit back in the day. For favorite kiss, season 5, episode 1 was Michael and Chloe. Bear with me for a second. Season 5, episode 4 was Chloe and Charlotte, but it was Jack and Cheryl in the flashback scene. Season 5, episode 5, Amenadiel and Sister Francine. From season 5, episode 5, Lucifer and Chloe. Season 5, episode 7, Amenadiel and Maze. Season 5, episode 8, Pete and Ella. Again, bear with me. Season 5, episode 14, the God and Goddess. And season 5, episode 16, which was Eve and Maze. Pete and Ella was put on this fucking list before Pete was revealed to be a goddamn murderer, okay? Michael and Chloe was put on this list simply because I didn't know how long the Michael thing was going to lead out. But still, thinking it was Lucifer and Chloe, it was still a nice kiss because we enjoy those two. But of course, your winner for favorite kiss is Lucifer and Chloe from season 5, episode 5. Favorite kill, I only have 2. Chloe shooting Buddy between the eyes in the season premiere. And from season 5, episode 11, God killing Daniel. And of course, that is your winner for favorite kill because it was fucking violent. And he did put him back together, but he blew him into little diced ham meat. Minced ham. That's what happened. He blew him into little chunks and then pulled him back together. God killing Daniel, maybe one of my favorite kills in anything we've ever watched in this show. Okay? Easily. Granted, I don't think for the overall JerAwards we had Vampire Diary kills. There were a lot of solid ones in that and the originals, which I need to go through those notes and maybe add those for the JerAwards for next year. We may have to update some things, you know? There was a lot of badass kills in those shows. Favorite quote? Michael to Lucifer from season 5, episode 9. It's the only thing I put down. There was a lot of good quotes. God had some good ones, but I put this down and left it. This is paraphrasing, by the way. As the bringer of light, how could I not live in your shadow? Michael saying that to Lucifer. Lucy being the bringer of light, being Samael, the light bringer, and him saying, you being that bringer of light, how could I not live in your shadow? We wear the same face. We're the same person, just different mannerisms, different accents. But like, how could I not always live in your shadow? How could I not want to break out from this shadow and be my own person? So it kind of adds a layer to Michael. Granted, he's still a sack of shit, but it adds a layer to him that I really enjoyed. For favorite case, I only have two. I'll tell you the loser first, winner second. From season 5, episode 4, Lilith's ring in that black and white episode, because I thought the ring thing was going to go somewhere. But instead, my favorite case from the entirety of season 5 is season 5, episode 3, which is it's Lieutenant Diablo, right? I can't remember. I have LT Diablo. I think that's what it was. Regardless, the Diablo show, them going, having the parallels of each other. I really enjoyed the whole case. It sucks Diablo died. I would have liked to have seen him in a future episode hanging out with Lucy. Favorite friendship. We'll do friendship first. Lucifer and Amenadiel. Lucifer and Dr. Martin. Maze and Trixie. Maze and Dr. Martin. Lucifer and Dan, hashtag bracelet bros. Amenadiel and Dan. Lucifer and Ella. Chloe and Dr. Martin. Maze and Eve, which, that's not really a friendship. Lucifer and Trixie. Lucifer and God. And then you know what? I actually put the winner at the end. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you who the winner was. There was a lot of great friendships. But my favorite friendship that ended up taking place over the course of this, I'm not really going to look at Lucifer and God as a friendship. They did bond more as father and son. Trixie used Lucifer to tell the story. Some of the other great friendships took a back seat. Lucifer and Dan's friendship blossomed, then the betrayal, then the payback, and then Dan's untimely death. Lucifer and Dan was kind of in the front running for the most part. My favorite friendship, believe it or not, for season 5 is Lucifer and Lee. They were only had, I think, 2 moments together in the premiere and the finale, but I'm not going to outright call them best friends, but Lucifer helping Lee to help himself ends up becoming Lee getting out of hell and going to heaven, and Lee in turn helping Lucifer when he goes to heaven. It just feels like there's a base level of friendship there, and I think if nothing else, I like seeing Lucifer and Lee on screen together because they play off each other very well, and they've been reoccurring characters. Obviously, Lucifer's the main fucking character, but Lee reoccurring for now 3 seasons. So, hope he's having a good time in heaven. That's my favorite friendship. Favorite ship? Lucifer and Chloe, Amenadiel and Dr. Martin, God and Goddess, Maze and Eve, Ella and Pete. Now, for ships, I did have Eve and Ella on here because I was vibing with them from the previous season. Obviously, that's scrapped. I did also have Amenadiel and Maze still on my list, but whatever. I do have to say, God and Goddess getting back together is low-key kind of wholesome. Fuck Pete. Your favorite ship, of course, still is Lucifer and Chloe. It's who I've been vibing for. A lot of people were like, said I was too over, I don't know the word I'm looking for. I wanted to see them have sex. It's been a whole 4 things, and they did have the sex scene, but I didn't get to see none of it. You give me these characters for 70-something episodes, and they have sex, and it's under a blanket. Put the show on HBO. Anyways, my favorite ship is Lucifer and Chloe, and I hope they continue to go strong throughout the last 10 episodes. Most underrated character. I'm going to do this one first this time. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys outright, most underrated character for just the 2 episodes they were in, it goes back to the favorite friendship thing, is Lee. I think Lee played a crucial part in helping Lucifer in that first season, and obviously helping him out a bit in the last season, and just leaving Lucifer awestruck and knowing, even though it's never happened, that people can get out of hell, and maybe we'll see some more stuff like that happen throughout season 6. Least favorite character is pretty fucking cut and dry. It's Pete. Fuck you, Pete. Ella didn't deserve any of that. Leave her alone. I actually hope we get to watch Pete get hanged. Fuck it. Death penalty. I don't care at this point. Put him in a chair. Put him in the electric chair. Shock him. Put the fucking injection in him. And hang him before he gets the sweet release of death from the injection. I want the chemicals to turn his stomach. Leave the one out that makes it painless. Let him be in pain after getting electrocuted, and then hang him. In that order. Okay. Favorite character for season 5, your nominees. Lucifer, Chloe, Trixie, Dr. Linda Martin, Maze, Amenadiel, Ella, Eve, God, and Lee. Yes, the main fucking characters, hashtag not Lee. But my favorite character throughout all of season 5 is actually the big God. I feel like the All-State man comes in and just makes a great presence, and he's fucking hilarious throughout the entire show, which I can't remember if we did funniest scene or not. We did. Okay, my brain blanked for a second. God was hysterical throughout the entire season. Granted, he wasn't the best father, but he gives, again, I keep saying it, he gives Lucifer that closure in his last episode as him and the goddess Mama Marlet leave to go to that other universe. So I really enjoyed the big God. He's my favorite character for season 5. Now for season 5, season names. It took me a minute, but I've decided to name season 5, simply put, God's Plan. Hashtag Drake. Do right and kill everything. So God's Plan is the name of season 5. It's all God's plan. Even as he's walking away with Mama Marlet, he's asked, was this all a part of your plan? And all he did was smirk, and he went over to the other universe. And to think if God manipulated it himself to let Michael think that he was gaslighting him just so he could get an opportunity to get Marlet back from her universe to rehash the relationship and put his son, who he kicked out of heaven, who kicked her off a rebellion, down to hell, to mend those relationships and get his wife back. To think that that was all God's plan is fucking genius, if that's what he pulled off. Now, if it ended up all being Michael's plan, that's also pretty cool. But I like to think God had everybody wrapped around his pinky the entire time just to get his woman back. So season 5 is entitled God's Plan. I'll go ahead and tell you it's not my favorite season. It's not, by far not my least favorite season. Somewhere in the middle. As for the season 5 finale name, season 5 finale is What If God Was One of Us? What if God was one of us? Because Lucifer becomes God, you get the fucking joke. It's not my favorite finale, but it's close. And once we do the full show recap, we'll rank off everything. I still think season 4 is right there. Season 5's finale was pretty strong. But with all that out of the way, we're going to get into our last thing we got to do here, and that is our In Memoriam, in loving memory, or rest in peace, whoever, rest in dirt, I don't care, to the following people. Lee, Bob, all the goons Chloe and Michael killed, Judy, Matt, Diablo, Lucky Larry, Tommy, Stampaganto, I forgot how they said that name, Sister Victoria, DJ Matt, Diane, Madison, Phyllis, Chris, Steve, Daniel Espinoza, but he was brought back, Albert the Almighty, Bruna, Brooke, Daniel Espinoza for real, all the people Maze and Lucifer killed getting revenge for Dan, Remy, and Chloe Decker, but she was brought back. So, with that out of the way, going back through one more time for these peeps, Lee, Diablo, Daniel Espinoza, Remy, and yet again, just for Big Dan. Rest in peace to all those characters. I hope we get to see Dan a little bit in season 6, whether he is in hell or he winds up in heaven. Trauma. With all that out of the way, with season 5 being done, again, we have 10 episodes left in Lucifer to wrap up season 6. Tomorrow's episode is season 6, episode 1. Nothing ever changes around here. 10 episodes. All 83 are over on Patreon. We're going to get into this home stretch. We're going to talk about the next show very, very soon. Remember, in the comment section down below, you can let me know any of your winners for the JerAwards. Doesn't have to be my nominees. If a moment really was your favorite or the most heartbreaking for you, let me know. I like reading what you all say, because a lot of times it's very different and sometimes it's very similar. That out of the way, I'm out. That's a wrap for season 5. I'll have links and everything in the description box down below. A playlist up on screen. As always, stay cute, stay hydrated, and I'll catch you on the next one.